Yo, what is up, boy guys out there? The name is Second Heat, bringing you guys another crew episode driving the beautiful Lamborghini Aventador. Why? Because this time I'm talking about my wish list for Need for Speed 2015's car list on the exotic side. Now, if you guys have missed my JDM and muscle cars videos, you guys can simply just go to my channel and there'll be my recent two videos that were uploaded, so it won't be hard to find. Now, for the exotics, there's a difference between I guess you can say supercars and hypercars. Now the hypercars are normally those like Lycans, those Koenigseggs, those extremely ridiculous supercars that aren't really too common. The supercars, on the other hand, are kind of those very high-end European cars that I don't want to say are affordable, but aren't like so ridiculous that they're like an extremely rare sighting. So pretty much when I go through this list, you'll kind of understand what I mean. Also, I did kind of put in a couple low-end exotics simply because they exist and they wouldn't be too far-fetched to put them into a game like Need for Speed. So let's go on. Let's continue, or let's start the list. First off, the Audi R8. The Audi R8 is probably a lot of people's fan favorites, not just in video games, but in real life. One of the reasons is because of Tony Stark from the Avengers or from Iron Man. He drives an Audi R8 and everyone loves it. Everyone always puts the Audi R8 with the Iron Man guy because it's just such a beauty, and I think a lot of people really began to know what the car was once the Iron Man movie started being shown. And my opinion, I love the Audi R8. I love it to death. However, it's come to the point where I've somewhat started to look at it like it's a bit too popular to where it's kind of like, died down a little, but every time I see it on the streets, I still think it's quite a beauty. But next on the list is the Audi TT. Now, some might say that this is the Audi R8's uh little retarded brother. Probably don't want to say retarded, might offend some people, and I wouldn't really call it retarded. It's still a beautiful looking car, and it's a low end car that somewhat resembles the Audi R8, but in a more affordable price range. And I could possibly see this being put into the game because a lot of people, you know, as Need for Speed, seeing how they're going back to the underground era, I like the fact that they're putting in these low end cars and seeing how they'll possibly also be putting in the supercars. I think they'll be allowing you to, in a way, mod these low end cars up to rival the supercars and putting the Audi TT and the Audi R8 together. A lot of people might be going at it with one another, just showing that the TT can compete when hundreds upon thousands of dollars is being put into the car. But that's just me. BMW side. Now, obviously, the BMW M3 needs to make appearance into the Need for Speed because of how famous it was in the previous ones, like Most Wanted and Carbon. I think the M3, that blue M3 that everyone so loves, it just has to be in the game. It has to be. Nothing new, nothing newer M3s, but that M3 from Most Wanted and from Carbon, it has to be in the game because it is so iconic to Need for Speed. It's pretty odd actually thinking about why though. It was just something that easily appealed to us all, even though we didn't get to drive it much. It was normally either stolen or taken away from us at the start of the game, but we still have grown to love it. And I think in Need for Speed 2015, it needs to make a reappearance because so many people are going to be making their tributes to the previous M3 BMW. Now, The next BMW I have on the list is somewhat of an oddball, and that is the BMW Z4. Now, I can't remember the last time I actually drove the Z4. I think last time I can recall would probably be in Need for Speed Shift. I do so believe that they had one, but it wasn't something I drove around much. However, looking at one, it still looks very beautiful, and I would really like to see it being put into Need for Speed because I would love to see a wide body kit being slapped onto this. And that's also another reason why I put on a lot of these cars is because of the wide bodies that will be in the game that can be seen on these exotics. Next is another low end exotic car, and that is the Lexus IS300, which is probably my most favorite exotic car, at least in the low end era. Or why did I say era? At least in the low ends. The IS300, actually, my neighbor owns one right now. It's such a beauty, and there's just something about it where it's just like you can have it. It's easy. It's very affordable. It has a good amount of power. You can do a lot of customization to it, and you can mod it to be quite the supercar. And I would love to see the IS300 being put in this game. I saw it. It was seen in Most Wanted. The first Most Wanted, not the 2012 Most Wanted, I believe is when the new one came out, the shitty one. So it's no stranger to Need for Speed, and I would love to see it being put in the game because I would love to put a wide body and mod it to my liking because it is quite the beauty. Now, next on the list is something that I for some reason keep on looking past. I don't know why. It's just not that, you know, I wouldn't say well known, but it's not something that a lot of people are accustomed to seeing, and that is the Lotus Elise. Now, this is actually a pretty rare car in the real world because to my knowing, I've only seen like maybe three in my lifetime. And every time I see one, it just like my jaw instantly drops because it's just like this is a beautiful car. And what it lacks in power, it's very great in its weight. It's a very lightweight supercar. And oh, just imagining the many wide body kits, the many modifications being put into this car, it will make so many car lovers excited. Please put in the Lotus. We've seen it in previous Need for Speeds. I liked it in Need for Speed Carbon. It was a very beautiful car. I like the wide bodies you could put on it. I'm pretty sure they might do the same in Need for Speed 2015. Now, next on my list is the Mercedes AMG C63. Now, some people might want the Mercedes SLS, but I don't know. It's always an iffy car to me. There are times when I love the car, and there are times when I just don't feel comfortable looking at it. But the AMG 663 is definitely a car I am always confident in my love for it. It looks damn well nice. It's something that you probably wouldn't race too much, even though it is a sports car. But I think, all the Need for Speeds has always put in that car where it's kind of like, it's kind of like you don't know if you want to race or just buy it just as a show car. And I believe that's something that can be done with this C63. I probably might just do it myself. Now, next on the list, because, we just have to, the Porsche Cayman. Now, we've already seen a Porsche being revealed in Need for Speed 2015, the RWB Porsche, but I have a feeling they're going to slap on another Porsche. I would love to see the Carrera GT come in, but I think that's entering the hypercar list. And if anything, if it's not the Cayman, it might just be the Carrera GT. So I wasn't sure. I really want to put the Carrera, but I think that might be a tad bit of a stretch, even though we have seen it in previous Need for Speeds. The Cayman, however, is quite the balanced Porsche out there. It's very well known. A lot of people know it. A lot of people love it. And there's a lot that can be done with the car. Even if you just give it stock, it still looks like quite the beauty. The next two on my list are simply put in because of Liberty Walk. Now, for those guys that are unaware, Liberty Walk is a popular, well-known wide body manufacturer that has been confirmed to be put in Need for Speed 2015. And so these next two is the main reason why I'm putting it on my list, and that is the Aventador, the one I'm driving right now, and the Ferrari 458. Now, if you've never seen the Liberty Walk body kit being put onto both of these cars, what are you doing with your life? These things look damn well sexy. Oh my gosh. I actually remember on Instagram, I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I saw a 458 actually get its wing chopped off by a Jeep, and many people were rioting because of how bullshit that was. And I got upset too, but even without the wing, it still looked damn well sexy. And I cannot wait to see the Liberty Walks being put on to these beautiful cars. Can't wait. Fingers crossed. What do you guys think? Tell me what you guys want to see in Need for Speed 2015. Until next time, this has been your boy Tekken Heat, and I'm out. Peace.